Welcome to another episode, everyone. Well, I indeed found the tape, found the footage of Wack 100 speaking on Monster Cody. And he indeed has some things to say about Monster Cody. Now, bear in mind, this is what young Aunt Hefe confronted Wack 100 about on No Jumper. These comments here. Let's see what he had to say about Monster Cody.
Off script. Yeah. Growing up on the East Coast, when we was in juvie and all that, we read books about this side. You know, outside of colors, the book that we had in jail was Monster Cody book.
Yeah. That's a great book, a lot of lies, but great book. It was exaggerated.
Wait, hold on, nigga. What do you mean, exaggerated how?
It was a lot of it exaggerated.
How?
Monster Cody was a dope fiend. Crack.
Wait, well, Monster Cody was a...
Hold on, they talk about Monster Cody like how they speak on Big U, but then I'm gonna say this: you can't be a dope fiend, right? That means you fell victim to the game, right? And still get the same credit and the same statute as somebody that didn't. You understand what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So I'm not saying...
No. I'm going to disagree with that. I mean, of course, you know, smokers, if you will, they are often referred to in the hood, smokers, people who use cocaine, crack cocaine, who used to smoke crack, call them smokers, dope fiends, and this and that. Of course, they don't get as much respect in the hood as the average Joe, perhaps, because they're doing things differently now that they're on this stuff. But they're one, you know, you have certain ones in your hood that you know not to double cross, not to disrespect too much, regardless of the situation. And at the end of the day, Wack says that Monster Cody fell victim to the game, and thus, I suppose his point is he should not be respected, at least not as much as Big U. But who's to say that Big U has not fell victim to the game in some way, whether it be crack cocaine or something else? We all have vices. When you point the finger, you have four more pointing back at you. If you look to judge someone based on their weakest moment, based on their vice, then karma comes back to you, because none of us are perfect. If you're looking for an individual, a human being that makes mistakes, look in the mirror. Everyone, because everyone does. So what? Monster Cody fell victim to a habit. And the pull of drugs, as many of you know, is very strong. The pull of anything, cigarettes, alcohol, you know, any of this stuff it's hard for people to stop it once they start. And who knows the reason that this man started, if he did, that he started using drugs. It was prevalent in the neighborhood at this time, you know, and many people fell victim to it. Gang members, OGs, and all that. Many people ended up using, bro. But again, you certainly knew certain ones you had better not cross a line, whether they were users or not. They still garnered much respect, and they continue to this day. So no, and I personally know people who fell victim to cocaine, hitting a pipe. Hell, it ruined my childhood because people close to me were using that stuff. So I don't judge anyone, bro. We all fall victim to something. We all have a vice about something. None of us are perfect. Stop judging people. That doesn't take away from this man and his status, as far as I'm concerned. If I'd have met him, I still would have had reverence for him. I still would have had respect for him. Regardless, I still wouldn't have tried him just because I think he may have been on drugs. No, that doesn't negate or nullify who he is. It just means that he's human and he fell victim to some vice like many people do. That's all it means.
he wasn't a rider in his own way. But shit, if any of us write a book, we're gonna make it seem a little more than what it really is, because guess what? There's people on the East Coast that's gonna read, and y'all gonna believe every motherfucking word you believe. Yeah. You read, you know what I'm saying? So I'm not saying that the nigga was some punk nigga, none of that, but they tried to make it look like when he walked in the motherfucking room, it was just silence and everybody was shaking in their boots. That nigga was some A-Tray gangster. That nigga had a notorious enemy called the Rolling 60s. And them niggas was feeding on each other. You know what I mean? Outside of everything else they didn't get along with. The whole hood's the card. What about the East Coasters? You know what I mean? Understand where you from. Right around the corner, 9-0s. Anything with an owner, anything with a neighborhood on it was his enemy. So he damn sure wasn't walking in nothing, shutting shit down like that.
Right.
I ain't taking nothing from,
I ain't really read the book, though.
No, it was a great book. The great book.
He wrote 3 books.
I only read one.
But Monster Cody was the one that changed the game for people on the East Coast reading that shit in the joint.
Remember I told you a couple years ago, remember the book I
heard people talk about it like he said.
When you read Monster Cody,
you remember the book idea I had? I had a book idea where the book is, I got it from Dean Koontz. I know you read his book.
Yeah, Dean Koontz.
How to be 2 or 3 different stories going on, and they all come together in the end. Mm-hmm. So I was telling Draws, we should do the same book. Like, he start off the first 2-3 chapters, and then his pick up from where it's at, and then as you get to the end of the book, as it did in reality, shit come together.
Big Tookie, let me ask you.
What's up, y'all? It's Top Media TV. Make sure y'all don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell. Damn, Wack 100 ain't got no chill button. What y'all think about him, on the $1 million, how he was calls Monster Cody?
Monster was like the folklore to us. I'm 3 years younger than Cody. You know what I mean? And so we was always looking to get a name off of Monster.
He's always right being in prison. When we both was in prison, we used to write each other.
Yeah, I seen that somewhere. He used to write Tupac. Cody was an enigma, man. If he could have stayed straight, he'd have been a mark. I look up to him. I got a lot of respect for him.
Some people just can't live out here.
Yeah.
This world's a trip for some people's mind.
Yeah. It's that challenge. What he's talking about is we got homies who can navigate while they're in prison, incarcerated, because that
you ever seen his penmanship?
Ooh. Yeah, seen him right. I mean, he was very intellectually stout, but when he came here, the discipline of not dealing with, falling to that crave, he couldn't handle that. He couldn't master that. But he was a great adversary, because he was an adversary to us. So, he was a gangster. We was the 60s, and he was a legend.
Sure.
Can't take that from him.
He's the right to you, Mike, you said?
Yeah, we made each other.
Fire.
He was trying to recruit Mike.
For real?
No,
no, wait, time out. Can we talk about this man knocking people's eyes out? Why'd you do that,
Why didn't you box? That was
wrong. This man knocking niggas out, eyes out and shit.
So that was Big U giving Monster Cody, rest in peace, his props for being a legend on the streets, even though they never.
All right. That's Top Media TV. Shout out to Top Media TV using his content. There you have it. That's what Wack 100 had to say about Monster Cody in his own words. And then, hey, Big U ended up saying some things about Monster Cody, but he just gave him his respect and said that he can't take anything from him, period. He was a great adversary. But Wack 100, well, yeah, he did have some other things to say about him that people just, they act like he was just such a beast or whatever that people just got quiet when he walked in the room. It ain't like that, because he fell victim to the game. I mean, I'm not going to come down on Wack 100 for having his own opinion, bro. I have my opinion, he has his. Everyone can express their opinion how they see fit. But I would say that my opinion is different from that. And that, as I said, that, yes, of course, you're going to be looked upon differently, as we can see. When you start using or whatever, people are going to see it as a form of weakness, that you couldn't handle it, couldn't handle whatever life was throwing at you. You so big, you so tough, you couldn't handle it. You had to go and start hitting the pipe and walking around, especially if you're walking around dusty and ain't the same no more, ain't got no size no more, and looking sucked up and begging for money and all these people, yeah, people gonna lose respect for you. Like, oh, this dude, he's a shell of himself. What is this? That's just natural. That's gonna happen. But, if you're smart, then you understand that human beings succumb to vices. Yeah. Don't judge lest thee be judged. Because none of us are perfect, bro. We all have a vice of some sort. Whatever it is. We all have done things that we are not proud of. So, if anything, instead of judging someone that you may see going through a certain tribulation, particularly one dealing with drugs, which they are so addictive, and it's hard for people to overcome them alone oftentimes. Well, help them. Don't judge them. Don't laugh at them. Don't talk about them and how weak they are and how much they are a shell of themselves. Help them. There's an idea. But that's what Wack had to say, bro. Let me know what y'all think, Is he on to something? Does Wack 100 have a point? I mean, I don't know, I said what I had to say, but as I said, everyone is entitled to their opinion. What is your opinion? Does he have a point? Did Master Cody lose some of that lore, some of that mythology, once people, started accusing him or believing that he was on drugs and looking a certain way or maybe acting a certain way? I don't know, but I'm just saying, should he still have this legendary OG status, even though he may have succumbed to certain vices? Has that tainted your view of Master Cody, that he succumbed to certain vices? Or no? I'm interested to know what you think. Bananas. Stay safe and stay free, people.